All right, welcome back to Opa Zao. Opa, Greek for excited, Zao, ancient Greek for living, therefore excited living because this world needs a little more positive.
Yes, it does.
And for those who've joined live, thank you. For those who have left after live, thanks for at least peeking. Appreciate it.
Yeah, shout out to all the live people out there. We got my girlfriend joining right now, and that is about it. But thank you.
Well, there's someone else, but I can't read it. It's
Yeah.
like anything past 2 inches, I can't read it.
It's always our
on the
problem,
phone.
right?
That's how it is.
I think we need LASIX. That's,
All right.
that's our solution.
LASIX, yeah. That's
my mom got
life.
that. It's pretty successful. Shout out to LASIX.
Awesome. She
No
can still
promotion
see.
here. Yep.
All right. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to pipe in a friend of mine named Lisa. And a couple times a year, we like to focus in on mental health awareness.
Right.
And I think that my friend Lisa is going to be great with that. She is a mom and has experience. I'll let her share a little bit, whatever she feels comfortable sharing with her story about her family.
Okay.
And its impact. And we want to also gear it back towards the value of listening,
Absolutely.
especially as it applies to this mental health awareness.
I think it applies to. I even talked about it in work yesterday, if you believe it or not.
That's amazing.
I know, right? At UPS, of all places, we talked about listening.
Ooh, that's deep. I tried that with my class, and I think they fell asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, especially after lunch, third period. It's like, really?
It's a different
nothing,
setting.
Nothing happens after
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
All right, well, let me pop up our Google phone and
Let's get it dialing.
Good
Lisa.
morning.
Good morning, Lisa. You are live on our we're not live, but you're live with
Yes.
us on our podcast, Opa Zao. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm wide awake.
All right,
Nice.
you're wide
New
awake.
day.
You are on West Coast time. Are you sure you're wide awake?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, Lisa, as we talked about briefly, a couple times a year, we like to try to focus in on mental health awareness and the value that listening has with that in individuals, with families, etc. And of course, my heart just jumped out and you came to my mind and I was thinking, wow, let's see if we can get her on air. And here you are. So,
Here I am.
well, you know me, and this is my co-host, TC.
Hi, Lisa. How you doing?
Hey, TC.
Hello.
TC, Lisa, TC.
All right. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet
I
you.
love it. It's like we're all here, but
Right.
we're not all here.
Non-physically, yes.
So, Lisa, start us off by giving us a little bit about just whatever you feel comfortable with. You don't have to share too much. I know you're an aspiring author, coming up book, and I'll give you a shout out later. But for right now, if you were to summarize yourself and really quick in, like, say, I don't know, 10 seconds, you had a 10-second elevator ride, which would be very fast. How would you describe yourself?
I would say God is our Heavenly Father, and I am the Earth's mother, the children of the Earth's mother. That's how I look at it. Every child is mine.
All right.
Awesome.
I like it.
Perfect. We'll take that. That is fantastic. Now, can you give us a little bit of how the whole issue of mental health awareness has impacted you and your family, etc.?
Well, a few years ago when we first started this journey, we kind of felt like we were isolated and alone and nobody understood. Now we feel more supported and like we can talk about things with certain people that we couldn't before. And there's a lot more awareness that, it's out there now. So people are actually talking about it, and it's helpful because we have a lot to say about it and nobody was listening to us before. So
Ooh.
we need to be heard, and being heard is super important. As you said, listening matters.
Listening matters.
Yep, I heard and listening. Two major things that we always discuss on this show. And Mike, I know that's a passion of yours, so if you want to go ahead and take that and explain on that, go ahead.
At what time of life, what season of life did this impact your family, Lisa?
Oh, wow. We have two sons. One had already graduated high school. The other one was graduating that year.
Okay.
He received a diagnosis of bipolar disorder. He was struggling with school to begin with because he had some processing disorders, so that, we had to fight for him a lot already.
Right.
And then in the midst of all of this, he was going through things we couldn't explain, and we didn't understand what was happening to him. And I'd taken him to doctors, and they were giving him a diagnosis, and we were still trying to get to the diagnosis at that time and started him on medication. And all at the same time, my husband lost his job, and we lost our home and pretty much everything we owned. So it was a very frightening time. We couldn't afford his medication. Just one of his pills was, I couldn't believe this, it was $1,700 for
mackerel.
his pills. And we had no insurance. And if it wasn't for the grace of God, who always came through for me, God always came through for me, we wouldn't have been able to get him the medication that he needed at the time.
So this was, how do we say this? I mean, this was multiple things coming together at the same time.
Yeah, from a spiritual perspective, I was attacked on every front.
No,
My
we
family
hear
was
that.
attacked on every front.
I can only imagine. Now, when I met you and got to know you, and the word that always comes to mind, and if you knew Lisa, warrior is the word in every sense of the word. Whoever they got to act for this little movie called Wonder Woman, they got the wrong person. Should have taken Lisa. I'm telling you, she doesn't have to practice or train. I mean, wow.
She just is.
I mean, I still tremble when I stand around near her, like she's going to
you're
break me in
hilarious.
half.
I can feel that energy through the phone. I understand that completely. I'm telling you. I feel the presence of something
You
here.
guys are too much.
So, Lisa, when this started impacting your family, your son or sons were around late teens, early 20s. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. TC is late teens, early 20s?
I'll be 20 this year. Correct, yes.
So, TC, do you have
all right.
a specific question? Terrible twos all over again for TC, by the way. Look
Terrible
out.
twos for TC all over again.
Being in that same age group, is there something that you would have a question?
Yeah, so, I've had, my own struggles and troubles in life that I've had to deal with, similar to, mental illnesses, depression, anxiety, etc. And, I know it can be a hard time for the parent, especially, my mom and dad, they've went through a lot, and I watched that and witnessed it, but of course I couldn't, help them when I was the one that needed the help. But I guess my question is, when did you notice the change in your son, and how did you approach it?
Ooh.
I noticed it. What happened was he was doing pretty good with his schooling and all of that, and then there just came a time where I couldn't get him to get up and get out of his room. It was like he just gave up on everything. And I literally just went in his room one day and I said, "Get up, let's go. I'm taking you to the doctor." And that's what we did. We took him to the doctor. I'd gotten him an appointment. I was waiting on that appointment. I waited for that day. I marched up to his room. I got him and we went. And that started our journey.
Now, let me pause there for a second. If Lisa was my mom and marched into my room, I would be really intimidated. Doesn't even begin to describe the feeling. I was like, "Oh no, yes, we're going." Okay. So, Lisa, so you approached it from a medical perspective, everything that, all the tools that you could figure out and determine at your disposal.
Yeah.
Where did listening become a value in that relationship with your son? I know it's always been there, but when did it all of a sudden become, let's say, more important or less important?
More important. I think that what you're saying is the understanding of how important listening is. When did that become so significant? When did I realize that that was the key to helping him? Was when I took him to the doctor, like I told you. Within a week or so, I just was really in tune, paying attention, and I've been that way ever since. I mean, it clicked in.
Okay.
I don't know what you would call it. My mom vibe clicked into my kid, and I went, no, we need to listen and really pay attention. And listening is so much more than just using your ears. It's paying attention. It's picking up the signals, the body language, paying attention to their speech, what they're saying, little words they use. It's so much more than just listening.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it really is.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our new host, Lisa.
Please.
She is available 24/7. Just call her because we know nothing. It's
Hilarious.
amazing. Wow. TC, do you have a question?
More of just a statement, or just to
Yeah.
expand on that. I just want to say, thank you for approaching it with your son that way. I mean, my mom had a similar approach to me, where she, took me to go get medical attention, and I was at a point where I didn't want that, and I didn't feel like I needed it. I felt defeated. I was laying in bed all day, sleeping all day, had no motivation to do anything, had no drive, was just sad, depressed, and by having her, force me in a way, with love as the intent, of course, always.
Always.
It really did change my life, and like you said, that started your journey to, I guess, saving, or to health, and to just living life again. And the similar
Yeah.
process started for me when my mom had helped, force me to get that extra attention, and to
Yeah.
get some help that was not just, family related, but, medical or professional. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Wow. And we hear this all the time, Lisa. Can we just fast forward a little bit? How are things doing now? This was several years ago.
He can be stable for a long time, and then he'll have some real struggles. Every day is a struggle for him. And we were just talking in the car yesterday, and he was just telling me, there's a lot of things that he doesn't say that he's going through because he's handling them. And he says, just because I don't say anything doesn't mean that I'm not struggling, but it means that I'm trying to work through them.
Gotcha.
And I thought that was important for him to say, and for me to know. My husband and I, by the way, we made a pact when Jason started going through all of this. We just got together and we got on our knees and we prayed, and then we said to each other, okay, we're a team of 3 now, and that's what we're going to do. We're just going to make up our mind to be a team of 3, and that no matter what, we're going to be here for him. We're not going to desert him. We're not going to, leave him on his own. He's not going to have to fight this battle alone. So that makes a huge difference, because he knows, my son knows, that my husband and I are there for him. And sometimes he prefers to talk to my husband.
Wow.
And other times he likes to talk to me. So, I mean, it's been a blessing that the 3 of us have made this pact. God was smart in showing us that we needed to do that we needed to come alongside him and just, hold his arms up,
Wow. I'm listening to the story and I'm going, wow. There are listeners that are going to be listening to this podcast, Lisa. And without giving out all of your information, if you would like to touch base with Lisa and kind of share maybe similar journeys or experiences, hit us up on next_Opazal, and we will make sure that we connect you guys. Because again, I'm so fortunate to know people like Lisa, because her story is not my story. And we want to make sure that on this role, it's kind of a reversal. We don't have the young person who's going through it. We have the mother of the person going through it. So that's the beauty of what we get to do, is to present this information and touch base with people that I would never normally touch base with, because I can't connect.
Right.
I just don't have that similar life experience.
Yeah.
So Lisa, if it's good, if someone is listening to this podcast or passes it on to somebody else who listens to it, and they reach out to us, do we have your permission to connect you with them?
Absolutely.
Okay, then we'll do that.
Absolutely.
And we'll keep that, again, safe and secure, but we want to make sure that we do that, because that's really what this is about. Our little tagline is because this world needs a little more positive. It needs a lot more positive. Seems like every month that goes by, we need a lot more positive.
Yeah.
But in situations like this is real life. And what I loved about what you shared so far, Lisa, is that there's no magical cure. Although there's a huge value in listening, is what I've heard you say, which is great. As I listened to you, we pass this on, this value of listening. It's not a cure, but it is a major step in progress and moving forward.
I was just going to say it's a major stepping stone to have someone listen. Just coming from personal experience in a similar situation in my life, just having that person that listens to me and that's there for me and that helps me with my struggles.
Right.
You know, I can say with confidence that I don't think I would be here without that. I really don't. And
Wow.
it's a stepping stone and healing for sure.
Lisa, you have been incredible. Thanks for waking up and probably your 5 cups of coffee already.
Yeah, I need one.
You're our first caller on the West Coast. Usually we just haunt people that are 3 hours or more ahead of us. We just can't get them to wake up. I don't know what
Even
it is.
sometimes they don't answer. So.
Yeah, or they don't want it and they realize, uh-oh, I know that number.
Yeah, and then think, oh, it's Saturday. Nope, not happening.
Like, who in the world calls to sell
Yeah.
me something at this time?
Like, work again? No, I'm good.
Lisa, thank you so much. And I do want to bring you back on and chat more about not just this life experience, because you can connect with so many of these parents out there that have gone or are going through, and they don't know what to do. They just don't know what's next. And so we're hoping that just from this one podcast and many more to come, that we'll be able to start steering people towards solutions, towards their next step, and sharing your life story and
I
your
would
heart.
say, Mike,
Yes.
is don't give up. Just don't give up
Ooh.
on your loved one. Don't give up. Don't give up on yourselves. Don't give up on your loved one.
Wow.
And that shows. It really does. I mean,
I can think of a future podcast where, my heart goes instantly to your marriage. And so I'm thinking, people that don't know, how did your marriage survive it? These are all the questions that are popping up in my head. And so we definitely have to bring you back and talk about something like that.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Well, I would be happy to.
you're awesome, Lisa. Thank you so much. You are an incredible woman, and you have the strength that you have, and through your marriage, especially with your son, that has experienced what not every family gets to experience. And it's neither good nor bad. I'm not placing a value on it. I'm just saying this was your growth opportunity. And you began
Right.
to attack this growth opportunity through not just a lot of listening, but a lot of love. And I loved what you said. You made a pact. There's no replacement for that unspoken contract where people know that they're loved, know that they're listened to, and that the confidence and hope that brings. It's amazing.
It's beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lisa.
Yeah, Lisa, I just want to leave you off with this. I just wanted to say thank you for not only being an angel in your son's life, but for being an angel in our lives and for continuing to love unconditionally. So thank you.
All right,
that's
there it
so
is. There's our
sweet.
title, Angel Lisa.
Angel Warrior.
There we
Angel.
go.
Oh, that's right.
Angel Warrior.
Angel Warrior. Uh-oh. The wings have a sword.
Makes me want to watch Ninja Warrior. If you ever watch that show, it's pretty good.
Lisa, thanks so much. And we love
All
you.
right, guys. Have
Hey,
a blessed
thanks for
day.
chatting with us.
Yes, thank you, Lisa.
Thanks.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Amazing.
That was amazing.
That was great. And it worked. We got it to work, guys.
Yeah, when in doubt, just drop the phone and pick it up.
When in doubt, drop kick the box.
Wow. So, hey, to everyone who's listening, hey, if you have a similar situation or you know someone, or perhaps you might be in the 20s, but you have a parent that has a similar story, we'd love to hear from you.
And if you are the child of that parent or just anyone going through anything in life and you want
Yeah.
to share your story, hit us up.
Hit us up. That's right.
At Next Up is Out.
We're about as non-confrontational as it gets.
real.
We have the anonymity here. We have the privacy here. We just want to connect people that can help each other and be there for each other and listen to one another.
It's pretty much our sole purpose other than spreading that
That's
positive vibe.
what we do.
Exactly.
So, again, nothing special here, but we do love connecting people. It is worth every morning getting up.
Yep. Absolutely.
It sounds like, I have a real hard life, but I don't. But
I mean, it is 7 a.m. on a Saturday.
yeah, it
but
just kind of feels that way sometimes, just for a few moments when you're waking up. Oh,
Sometimes.
it's like, I love morning. Morning would be great if I didn't have to wake up.
yeah, right. You
That
didn't have
makes
to get out
sense.
of bed,
It's my
change,
favorite
get the
time
coffee,
of day.
shower. Yeah.
Yeah, there's that. But anyways, hey, shout out to everyone out there. Thanks for those who have been hitting us up and listening to our podcast, especially in other countries. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's so cool, man.
We just love it knowing that our little thoughts are being heard by others.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I mean, even when we started this podcast, we had the opportunity to expand and grow into multiple countries. So having that opportunity is, I'll forever be grateful for that. So thank you guys for listening once again. Tune in next Saturday for the next episode of Opazao. And also, you can catch us on YouTube at Opazao. Pretty much everywhere on Opazao. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Hit us up.
Perfect. Peace.
Peace.